episode 17, and I'm Mitch Pfeiffer.
And I'm Jay Ping.
Jay Ping, Joey, what is going on, man? How you living right now?
Man, I'm checking in all the way. We went to Kush Stock Festival this last weekend. I picked up some Fuego. We got some Pistol Point. We got some Dolce and Banana. We got some 24K from DNA Genetics. The shit's real deal, Holyfield. It's terpenes. It's just wow. All this weed is pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of the garlic, but it was still smacking, man. It just is because it makes me sleepy. And then we also got some Claiborne. So we're gonna get high on this episode today. We're gonna get high today.
So for the people out there that are not in the California market or not privy, Kush Stock was a very large cannabis event, one of the first major ones back at Alameda? Where's that?
No. Adelanto. It's over in the high desert, I guess is what it's called.
Okay, Adelanto, the stadium, and then cannabis was there for legal purchase, or
it was available for legal purchase. There was distributions, there was deliveries, there was retailers popping up. You could buy on site at the booth, handling cash, man, farmers market style, man. It was and card readers is a thing in California. I don't know if it is still in Washington. I know it was when I was budtending, but man, to be able to take debit and credit card and Bitcoin in some cases at an event, come on, bro.
Yeah.
It's 2021 full throttle, bro.
And that is, I didn't even have this on the agenda, but that's a great topic around cannabis events, being that we're currently looking for a venue for some things. And in Washington, people that have liquor licenses and deal with the LCB don't even want to handle things with cannabis involved at all because it could potentially threaten their liquor license. Whereas in California, through the BCC, correct, right? Bureau of Cannabis Control.
BCC, yeah.
You can actually get a cannabis event license to throw a cannabis event where on-site consumption is 100% legal. And you can also get licenses to have an on-site dispensary type pop-up setup or delivery exactly to that event. So you can throw an actual event, buy weed at said event. It could be a concert. You could buy weed at said concert in a dispensary type format, pop-up dispensary type format, or get it delivered there and then consume it on site, all legally, all within the laws. Taxpayer dollars get involved. Up here in Washington, we do not have any of that, and it is a damn shame.
Bro, I can tell you from sitting here right now that it is exceptionally cool to be slinging weed at an event while you're standing there smoking it, while you're standing there drinking it, while you're standing there eating it, and while the VIP booth for all the vendors is standing there serving it to you.
Yeah.
We had it every kind of way you can imagine. I got high, I got low, I got sideways, I went right, I went left. It was 100 degrees. I drank all the water in the world and talked to as many booths as I could. And I've spent a solid $200-300 on a lot of weed, and it was all 50 to 60% off. Event prices in the building. It was so dope, man. It was so dope.
And so for brands and brands that want to reach consumers can not only just sponsor there and show their logo off and their swag, they can actually sell it at a discount to introduce new people to new products, new brands, get them to know. It's just super great. I mean, it's a super good thing for the commerce and just the industry of cannabis. Washington will likely come around whenever individuals that are passionate about it have the money and time to fight for that legislation to happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's really all it would take. Sadly, it's a lot of work. So I don't know when we'll see that, who will be the one that pushes that. Most of the advocacy groups are pushing for other things that are a little bit more pressing for consumer rights or to have.
Could you just imagine HempFest? Could you just imagine?
It would bring HempFest back. HempFest has not been HempFest since legalization.
Yeah. And there wasn't always just a ton of sales. Brands were never just behind booths slanging packs at HempFest. Compared to cannabis cups and these sessions and things like that in LA and in California. But the reality is there's just so much to be gained from, the ability to do commerce in person. And and I think it goes to the whole concept of patient access as well. I think not having events is a significant limit on patient access.
Right.
Even if it's a matter of like educational events with tasting with no sales, there's got to be some kind of way, some kind of conversation in Washington. I don't think the right people are having the conversations. I think they're just beating a dead horse.
Yeah, yeah, no. I mean, HempFest. What's funny about HempFest is pre-legalization. All of the people that are in the industry now were there. They weren't necessarily having booths. I mean, some of them were, but they were there. It was a community. It was a culture. And then when legalization came, and LCB put a lot of restrictions on brands getting involved, what they could do, this and that. And you look at the cost of sponsoring that event, it just doesn't really make sense for a lot of cannabis companies. But also, from us being marketing nerds, a lot of people don't leverage it properly. It could be an absolute steal of an opportunity for the right person with the right activation. But in the general sense of the community and the industry, it just doesn't have the same appeal. You don't get the industry involved, then you don't have as much of the culture, the hardcore people of the culture, and it's just gone a little bit downhill. But hopefully Washington can see cannabis events, vending. I mean, could you imagine the Gorge having, just like outside lands, like the Gorge having the bar area on one side and then the dispensary and smoke.
Rumor has it we're headed there in terms of Live Nation down the road getting cannabis friendly, but until their insurance policies and the people that run those ships change, the event people are in the grasp. They're in the grip of what's federally legal or not because of insurance.
Yep.
That's what it comes down to, everybody. It's a matter of business.
Well, it's crazy. It's a federal thing for, like you're saying, the insurance, the big money multinational company, or a multinational company. If you deal with multiple states, you can't just adhere. You need to adhere to federal regulation. But then when you look at other things, there's a state layer of legislation, and then there's city or county, which is why you see, like for you going up to Kushstock, Adelante has been very friendly.
Adelanto.
Okay, I'm messing it up over and over.
Adelanto is very friendly to cannabis. It is reliant upon cannabis taxation. There are quite literally hundreds of thousands of square footage of canopy there. It's where a lot of facilities, grows, indoor, greenhouse, you name it. You can grow year round there in the desert with the right environments. And there are a lot of very wealthy business owners there. Brands are out there for sure. And that stadium, particularly to that point of like legislation being unique from city to city, county to county. We were there at Kushstock, Adelanto, the city, the town, the police, whatever it is. We have a weed event going on in a stadium. 15,000 people are there buying, selling, exchanging, consuming. And in the main parking lot, they allowed street racers and drifters and car people to safely do their thing in a pop-up track. So to me, it's a very unique situation when you look at the way the various economies are across the country from city to city, county to county. You guys, there's not very many people being creative in cannabis or dangerous, automotive sports. Those are avenues, and people are going to do them either way. These are traditional markets, traditional activities, and creating a safe environment for these people is something that we've got to create more access for.
Yeah, people are going to do, cannabis, and that's the crazy thing. People are going to consume cannabis regardless, whether it's legal or illegal. And then in states where it's legal, there's crazy, confusing legislation, regulation, laws that prohibit the act of smoking. Like in the state of Washington, I believe the only place that you can legally smoke is out of the public view in a private residence. But if you live in like a downtown Seattle, how many private residences allow smoking inside? The majority of condos and townhomes and apartments have fights against the fire code to smoke anywhere and anything inside. So while it's legal to buy cannabis and it's legal to smoke cannabis, there is a very limited place where you can actually legally smoke, which is just kind of crazy. They need to define that.
To be real, it's almost illegal. How messed up that is, in my opinion.
It doesn't make sense, but again, it's not that big of a conversation. Salute, California's had such a strong cannabis culture, even when it wasn't legal, right? The state had such a strong culture that with legalization, they've just been on the precipice of or leading the charge in terms of getting access to people, allowing multiple business types, and allowing people to consume cannabis. There's definitely plenty of things that are wrong. I'm not trying to just hype cannabis up, or California up.
All these industries have their own faults and all their own positives and negatives. There's something to be said about the majority of counties in California still not giving access to patients, but
Right.
everybody thinks we have it so good here.
Right.
When in reality, a lot of people have to go and drive, far places or leave their homes and leave their cities, just to go get access to affordable cannabis. And even then, California pricing is significantly different, although the taxation is similar. How it's implemented and integrated into the actual market is astronomically different. A 38% tax on a $60 eighth in California means that there is roughly 40% tax added on top of the $60, which to those of you who are bad at math, 40% of $60 is roughly $24. So you really got to think about, or at least, be appreciative of whatever it is that your system is, whatever it is that your reality is in terms of cannabis. Appreciate that now, because it's drastically going to change over the next 5 years. It could be good, it could be bad, it could go cheap, it could go affordable. But from what we've seen, most markets start off expensive, and then it's a race to the bottom. And then good cannabis stabilizes between $35 and $75.
Yeah. And you got like, once federal legalization comes on, there's going to be a Fed tax, so there's going to be another 10% on that, 50%, half of what you're paying is going to go to tax dollars, which is absolutely absurd. Absolutely absurd.
Yeah. For example, like this right here, right? This is Claiborne. I think this particular eighth sells for between, $40 and $50 an eighth, depending on the store, but you add on the tax and it's a $60 eighth, right?
Yeah.
The $65 eighth. You then buy the $65 eighth version of this, which is, or $60 eighth version of it, which is right here. And it's better genetics, probably grown similar style, probably grown in a similar room, if not the same room, right? Just different genetics. And Fed tax gonna cause these items to get more expensive. Good products, can't fault the products, but when you look at the way the structure is just set up, it's not friendly. So that gets us. That's actually a good tangent for us to get to our next little topic, our first real topic of the day, which is the history of 710. And we have the rumor from the Orange County, Long Beach County homie that says, dabs and concentrates, and obviously, SoCal weed culture was a big, for lack of a better word, and to kind of quote Colin, a big purveyor of this dab culture. And there was obviously 420, which was the big smoking holiday, but where was the oil holiday? And enter 710. Oil flipped upside down.
Yeah, and that's simply what it is. Some people say, oh, it's oil backwards. Incorrect. You just take, if you have a cannabis jar that says oil on it and you turn that jar upside down, it will read 710. It's not the most innovative of terms, but definitely quickly been a marketing holiday for the cannabis industry, marketing dream, it gives them another day of the year to blow out product, and an emphasis on blowing out concentrates, which is one of the easiest product categories to scale in this industry. So it's interesting that specific category got its own day. But if you look at it, it's funny, they always say, well, they had 420 and they create another holiday. The cannabis industry also does Black Friday. So it's like they needed 3 days a year to do some crazy ass.
Don't do Black Friday. It's called Green Friday.
You're right, Green Friday. How creative.
Hey man.
No, I mean, yeah, I dig in. It's weird, So we tried looking up the origin of 710, expecting some sort of crazy story. The history of 420. There's a couple different variations. There's one out there that's credited of being, the somewhat official one by many people. But 710, there's nothing out there. There's rumors of where it started, when it started. I think 2011 is around when people, when it started popping up, which is right around the time, dabs in the medical market started to
really become popular.
Right. Right. Really started picking up around 2011. Some people that were early on, it might be like 2009. But not very many people were on to even knowing what dabs are or seeing them until 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
And even at that point, it's a medical only thing. So only medical patients or people had that access. Or the majority of people, because back then, right, dispensaries would give you a free dab on the way out. I think that's how really a lot of people got introduced to it.
Yeah. To be real, that's how a lot of people got introduced to a lot of things, right? Sampling strains, trying new flavors. I can't tell you guys the first, 5 out of the first 15 dispensaries I went to in California were, those trap shops, the medical classic California shops selling 500 to 1,000 milligram fake ass products, unsafe ass fucking vapes, and weed that just looked like, man, like it was straight out of someone's trunk. Like it was just sad to be there,
And, for people out there to judge, right? Oh, you just, got introduced to these dabs at dispensaries. I got a whole fucking second freezer filled with shit I got introduced to at Costco. So, and I'm sure anybody out there passing judgments got the same thing. So, getting samples at stores is a traditional retail experience. It's not just a cannabis thing. You go to Total Wine on a Friday, and they have liquor samples.
Fred Meyer has sampling programs.
Yeah. So there's plenty other sampling programs out there, but that is definitely my introduction to dabs was I've probably seen it once or twice at a friend's house, but I got introduced to it at a medical dispensary.
Bro, my first dab, oh my God, 710 stories, bro. My first dab, I did a dab at Nancy's house on Yancey Street. Man, shout out first Nancy on Yancey Street, bro. West Seattle. Shout out Junebug. Shout out Joe the Pro. Shout out all those cats from those days, man. I know all of us ain't talking that shit no more, but shout out all those people, bro. That was a whole era for us, bro, because that shit really introduced me to cannabis. Those cats in West Seattle really put me onto the road of weed. Joe was really one of the people that helped me get an understanding of like how it could be used, to not just be stoned, you know what I mean? To really kind of make you better to go work out or to do things. You remember Joe, right?
Yeah.
And so I remember, I remember going to his house and we went over to Nancy's house. She was the one that we used to always buy these, all the weed from and shit for the deals. You went to her crib and it was like this super hippie lady. She walked around barefooted and shit all day, every day. And she was kind of, grungy and granola and shit. And she would pull out like 8 or 9 different QP jars. You know what I'm saying? And I remember they pulled out the dab rig and were like, Joe, you need the dab. Did the dab, blast off. And then we drove back from where she lived underneath the West Seattle Bridge, which is like a race car track. If you know how to drive that bitch, you whip through that shit. And I felt like I was in Gran Turismo, the little video, the Need for Speed game when you're driving it, when you're at the bowling alley racing cars and shit. Like, I swear, bro, that was crazy. And then I got back to Joe's house. They started playing 2K, and I just fell over and fell asleep, and I woke up like exactly 2 or 3 hours later.
Man,
that was my first dab.
My first dab was in the back of a dispensary in North Seattle. Medical dispensary, straight out of the Pyrex. There was a metal rack where they had Pyrexes with the oil in it, and then they had the metal tubes stuffed with trim right there, getting ready to take wherever they blew it at. And this dispensary in the back had a vent that sucked up in the back room, so they could smoke in the back room and it'd take it up. Anyways, he loaded me up a dab. I'd seen it a couple times. I tried it. I started coughing instantly and was coughing so hard I also had like drool coming out and I couldn't gather myself and like close my mouth. So I just hovered over a sink with drool just running out, just coughing. My eyes were watering and everyone around me is like, are you going to finish that? Finish that. And I can't. And then, the chance, they're like, you can finish that, clear it. Don't be a bitch. And I tried, took half a breath and then I just, more saliva, tears. I couldn't clear it. I don't even know how. I probably only got like a quarter of the smoke out of that thing.
Damn,
bro, I was so keyed. I was starving before I did that. I couldn't eat for like an hour and a half after that. I could not drive. I did not even want to be in a vehicle.
Yeah, I couldn't drive after the dab. Then what was crazy too. One of the second or third times I ever dab, I went to that RMR Market in Seattle. Remember where we used to go get the packs and stuff like that right
Yeah.
there off the freeway and shit. I went in the farmers market there because they always had people in there and shit. And I remember you could get the dollar dabs, the $2, $3, $4, $5 dabs. And obviously the closer you got to $10 dabs, it was like, yo, that's really good shit. You know what I mean? Or it was just gonna be a really fat ass dab, right? And so I remember being like, okay, so this is like a $4 dab, this is an $8 dab. All right, what's the best dab you've had? And it was a $17 dab.
Ooh, fancy.
I'll never forget the number because why $17, right? It was something like a rainbow sherbet, remember, or like remember forum cut cookies?
Mm-hmm.
It was like a rainbow forum cut kind of cookies. And I remember doing that shit, bro, and I got the immediate hot sweats, cold sweats, stumbled to the bathroom, spent 4 or 5 minutes in there hacking up my lungs, throwing up, kind of shit. Walk back out there, and my eyes are like this, can't see shit, just crying. Oh, God. And then I sat in my car for like an hour, bro. I couldn't drive. I was legitimately dab drunk.
Dabbed out, bro. It's real. I remember those early dabs. The concentrates were very murky and dark. Probably, not probably for sure. Not most of them not purged correctly. And then what's funny is when I was talking to, you weren't on that episode, but when I interviewed Brad from 710 Labs, he said he brought up the fact that everyone's initial memories to dabs are like that because we weren't doing properly clean dabs and we were taking them so hot. So almost everybody's initial experience was dabs was absolutely terrible. And then we spoke that to people. So you either heard it, saw it, or experienced it. So just the perception around dabbing was very negative. It's a very harsh, a very intense thing. And he said, he pointed out, as dabs have evolved, now you get a nice quality dab, live resin, you take it at a low temp. He said if the right person serves you up the right little size dab at the right temperature, you will not cough. It'll be super smooth and you'll have an enjoyable high-end experience. Which honestly, that conversation with him really helped me be like, all right, maybe I should start revisiting dabs because I'm a heavy consumer, but I'm not a dabber. But my experiences with dabs were these hot, heavy dabs that made me cough and sweat, and were not enjoyable.
Let me break it to you like this. I'm going to just throw this one out there. If you were dabbing with Jared Michelman at any point over the last 10 years, he was taking hot dabs.
Oh, man.
Jared, where you at, bro? Where you at, man? Shots fired, dog. You taught us all how to dab. You got us all into dabbing, bro. You taught us all hot dabs.
That is hilarious. And Jared Levitt comment. I just saw the comments. I was sleeping. Jared Levitt, if you're still here, Jared, he said he got to get a booth at one of those events like Kush Dog, man. Let us know. We can help point you in the right direction to some of the dope ones that are happening in Cali. Joey's got his finger on the pulse. Munson, what's up, bro? And then Fred's in here waiting for RMR Dab Fest. We might have to do that. Now that I'm actually taking dab, I'm not participating or taking dabs in public or anything like that. But now that I'm participating, we could get behind some sort of dab.
I'm going head to head. I don't care if I lose. I'm still getting in the ring. Fred, you can see me, dog. I'm coming at you until I die on the dabs. Bobby Adams, Fred, motherfucking who else is out there? Young Crown. I'm gonna need to see.
He's dabbing Matt Mark. He can hold his own.
I'm gonna need to see everybody. We need to get all the true dab heads out, and we need to get them all.
Scott McKinley, too, of the Dabros, bro. That guy takes, like, when I'm on the phone with him or whenever I see him, that man is taking dabs just throughout his day.
There's a lot of players in the industry out there, man. We got to shout out, man. They're actually real consumers. They don't just run their companies. They know the real products, man. They know what the real good shit really is. They buy this shit, they sell this shit, they try it, they preach it, man. We got to get them. Dab Fest coming soon, man. I don't know when, I don't know where. The work starts today.
Yeah, maybe we'll do Dab Fest with the Dab Roast, man. Maybe we'll do a little collab thing. Who knows?
Ooh, hey, come on, man. The little Dab Roast Fest.
We might be able to set it up, bro. See, you want to go head to head with some people? We could set it up March Madness style.
For real though, I'd love to see people take gram dabs to the fucking face, and then not just do live resin or diamonds. I want to see all the different kinds, man. I want to see, bro. I want to see them all. I want to see someone take a gram, 1 gram, 2 gram, 3 gram dabs. Did you see the video on High Rise the other day they posted with the dabbing maniac? The dude, they said that in like an hour he did like 20 or 30 grams.
He dropped the like the cube in there, right? It was the crystal. He just dropped that fat. He had to like melt its way into it, and then the whole thing was filled up. Yeah,
that shit is crazy.
Yeah, that's heavy. And Cody just tapped in. What's up, Cody Banks Cameron? What up, bruh?
What's good, everybody? Thanks for hanging out with us, man. It's the RMR Podcast, episode 17. Episode 17, man. RMR Podcast. I'm rolling up some Claiborne cannabis. Y'all check in. I'm rolling up some DNA genetics. This is big fire. This is big fire right now.
I'm just, I still got to be on my dad shit, or my dad shit, so I'm smoking on just the vape pen. You know, I got the plug play out here in Washington, just messing with that.
So you're flying out to LA in 2 days. We got Hazy LA 710 event. It's gonna be lit. We're doing the live podcast the whole time. We just got confirmation today from Curaleaf for the podcast.
Well, yeah, someone from Select should be there. Someone from Ember Valley / Glass House, I believe, should be there. I think Shice Bubs might come hop on there.
We got some special guests coming in, man. I hope y'all are ready, man.
We'll see if we could, Cameron's going to be there. He's not on the podcast. He's going to be there. We'll see if we can shoot out the bird call, man, the Dipset bird call, see if we can and get him on there, plug some. I doubt it. I doubt Killer's going to fuck with some Killers, but we'll see, man. He'll be out there performing. That'll be dope. Smoke Diz is in the building, Smoker Club. Should be a dope time. Anyone in LA that wants to pull up Saturday, 7.
Tap in with us. Tap in with us. Anybody in LA, anybody who's trying to fly out, get a ticket right now.
And there's a couple Seattle people just in the music industry, some people from the music scene up here that are already in LA that I talked to. I don't want to throw out any names, but some people from from the music scene out here are down there doing some studio work, saying they're going to slide.
That's fucking lit. Let's go. Yeah, open invite. Come fuck with us on the podcast, man. We're going to just have it up and running. We're going to be getting it in. I'm going to be smoking fat joints like this, but I'm going to infuse all them bitches. I got live resin to infuse them. I got diamonds to infuse them. It's going in. Bro, look at this. I got sparkling cannabis-infused mimosas. Y'all don't want none of this. I literally just lost a whole bag of cannabis-infused Jello shots.
Were they pre-packaged or were they on the homemade?
Where are they? They're pre-packaged, bro. Where did they go? Where? Can someone toss me a lighter by chance? Is there anybody that can hook me up? Help it out? You got a lighter? Want your lighter? Lighter. Someone? My production assistants are letting me down. This is horrible.
I got so much weed, but I got no lighter.
No lighters. Justin didn't even move to help. Jesus.
It's a cold game, man. It's a cold game.
It's a cold game when you got to get your own lighter on your own podcast, man. The privilege.
To bring it full circle, right? We talk about the history of 710, our first experience with 710, and now what we're doing on 710. For the history, or for the people out there, what is your opinion on 710? What are your just general thoughts on 710?
We have a unique history on 710. I don't know if you know this. The RMR's first year in the cannabis industry, bro. Remember, we had Oleum come through to the house on 710.
Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah.
They came through, taught RMR about dabs and all their oil, and they also taught the Diego fam about that shit. Remember that?
Yeah. And then we've thrown a 710 event or two. I think it's stupid. As a holiday or whatever, I just think it's a weird thing. But shout out people being able to take things and commercialize the fuck out of them.
I mean, you do dumb shit for Valentine's Day and your birthday and other shit.
Dog, I don't know what you're talking about. My birthday is a national holiday. I treat that shit like Diddy. I'm in all white, popping champagne with sparklers.
Popularizing dumb shit.
No, But no, I mean exactly. I mean to each their own. But it is a weird holiday that popped out of nowhere. I see a bunch of people just jumped in the last couple minutes, but you know, we were talking about the history of 710. It doesn't really have much of a history. It just kind of popped up out of nowhere and has been commercialized.
If we could make it a cooler part of the culture, see, this is like Americanized Cinco de Mayo. It's like it became too popular and too trendy and too much about just selling shit, and it became less about the culture. So if 710 can become more about that stuff again, just people getting together, a safe place to sesh, maybe a place to do sales, maybe a festival again, or whatever it is, then I feel like we can get right back to where it was. But at this point, it's really just people running sales. And I think like the rest of the country, like not on the West Coast, but like, all these other newer states where I think it's a little less strict in terms of like the events, you know what I mean? Like Michigan and Oklahoma are still having a great time. Ohio, Chicago, still having a great time with events, right? But for a lot of the other states that have been doing this for a minute, it's tied down. We need to bring that culture, bring that energy back.
100%. Yeah, and I guess I said I was hating on it, but like we said we have all these experiences and events on 710, and so I think it is cool sometimes to just I like getting people together, the community together, and so if 710 does that, it's all right with me. I'm flying out to LA, and 710 Fest. So shout out that, I guess. Shout out 710 for bringing people together.
Man, and shout out my man, Dylan Fout too for the shirt, bro. Look at the do you see the man? Come on, bro.
You rocking the Dylan Fout? I'm rocking the Chase Fade. Are we just rocking videographer shirts right now, man?
I'm actually, you know what, bro? I quit respect my region. I'm literally just gonna start rocking. I'm Dylan Fout's first all-time model, full-time.
All-time model. Well,
all-time, full-time.
Well, if you're the main model, that clothing line's in trouble, man. So
damn, I've been running.
Need some prettier people, man. So I think that's about it for right now. I guess other high news. The other
we've been updating the Spotify playlist. Y'all go follow the Spotify playlist. Low Key Fire, Cali Fire, Washington Fire, High Key Bars, Fresh Drops. We cover EDM, rap. There's some good stoner music in there. There's some good inspirational music in there. The Nipsey Hussle playlist that we have is almost at 1,000 followers. Go tap in with that. There's some new music there. The Jay-Z song with him just got remastered, so that's dope to see that. That shit's fire. There's a bunch of dope new music on there. Big shout out to the team that we have right now. Hannah, Sean. We're rocking with Colin. We're rocking with motherfucking what is that? Alex over there. Jason. We got Isaiah, Taylor. Man, there's so many people on the team right now doing great work. Just want to do some quick shout out and some love. Matt, Brad, man, we got Justin Turs in the building right now. We're all making moves. Winston, everybody, we love y'all. We're gonna keep it pushing. We got some cool things in the works. 710 Saturday, North American Weed Tour starts August 1st, technically, with August 2nd being the first official day I'll be reviewing things. So stay tuned for that. We already have a bunch of podcast episodes scheduled, and we'll be getting more and more brands on as we go. So let us know if you guys have a cannabis company or a product or a strain or a grow you guys want to see. We will get them involved if we can.
That's about it. RMR Podcast. We'll see you next time.
Love you guys. Peace.